Objectives in this session are: what is file handling, what is a text file, opening a text file, writing data to a text file, closing a file, reading a text file, and appending data in a file. When you run a program, it asks you to enter some data and the processed information is displayed on the screen. The data that you enter while running a program is stored in RAM, which is temporary in nature. So if later you want to see the data that was entered, you can't get it. When a program needs to save data for later use, it writes the data in a file. The data can be read from the file at a later time. File handling is a technique by which you can store data in a file and retrieve it later. Text file is a computer file that only contains text. With Microsoft Windows, computers' text files are identified with the .txt file extension. A text file can be opened in any text editor or word processor. For example, in Microsoft Windows, you could use the Notepad program to open, view, and edit text files. You use the open function in Python to open a file. The open function creates a file object and associates it with a file on the disk. In this general format, file handle is the name of the variable that will reference the file object. File name is a string specifying the name of the file. Mode is a string specifying the mode in which the file will be opened. Some of the Python file modes are: R, open a file for reading only; W, open a file for writing. If the file already exists, erases its contents. If it does not exist, create it. A, open a file to be written to. All data written to the file will be appended to its end. If the file does not exist, it creates it. For example, suppose the file students.txt contains the student data and we want to open for reading. Here is an example of how we could call the open function. Student file is equal to open students.txt in read mode. Writing data to a file. File objects have a method named write that can be used to write data to a file. Here is the general format of how you call the write method. File variable.write. Inside the parenthesis you pass a string. In the format, file variable is a variable that references a file object and a string is a string that will be written to the file. The file must be opened for writing or an error will occur. Here is an example of how we would write the string Prince Chaudhary to the file. Student file.write Prince Chaudhary. Closing a file. In Python, you use the file object's close method to close a file. For example, the following statement closes the file that is associated with a student file. Once a program is finished working with a file, it should close the file. Closing a file disconnects the program from the file. In some systems, failure to close an output file can cause a loss of data. Let's write a complete Python program to open a file, write data into it, and then close the file. So I had written a comment writing data into a text file. First, we have to declare a variable file handle, and then you can call open function with two arguments. First is the name of the file. So here I am typing name of the file as participants.txt. This is the name of the file, and then I am writing file mode. So W is used for opening a file in write mode. After opening the file, you can call write method with the help of that file handle object. So I am writing file handle, and then you can call the write method write, and then you can pass a string. So here I am writing Prince Chaudhary and then /n so that the cursor moves to the next line. Again I am calling write method, write, and then I am writing om agresh. One more string I want to write, file handle dot write, and then I am writing here Pankaj Gautam slash n, so that the other string appears on the next line. Then again I am calling write function. Then here I am writing one more string, and that is called Suryam Patle. Then slash n. After your work has been done, you can close the file by calling close method with the help of that file object. So I'm writing file handle dot close. So this is the complete program in Python to write data into a text file. Let's run this program. So no error is displayed on the screen. It means we have successfully run the program. Now you can open the text file participants.txt and you can check whether these four strings are written or not. So I am opening that text file, file open. From here you can select text file and then participants and then open. So you can see the four strings are written inside a text file participants.txt. This is how we can write data into a file with the help of Python program. Reading data from a file. If a file has been opened for reading, you can use the file object's read method to read its entire contents into memory. When you call the read method, it returns the file's content as a string. String variable is equal to file object dot read. Here I am writing a Python program to read the contents of a text file. Reading the contents of a text file. So I am writing a program to read the contents of a text file participants.txt which is created earlier. First you have to declare a file handle variable and you have to call the open function. Inside the open function you have to pass two arguments. One is the name of the file. So name of the file is participants.txt. And second argument is the file mode, which is in this case R. R means you are opening a file in read mode. Now one string variable you are declaring here, string 1 equal to, with the help of file handle object, you call the read function. So this read function reads the entire contents of a file and returns the entire contents in the form of a string which is stored in this string variable. And now you can display the value of this string variable on the screen with the help of print function. In this way you can display the entire contents of a file on the screen. Finally you can close the file. By calling close method with the help of this file handle object. Now let's run this program. So you can clearly see the output on the screen that the entire contents of a file is displayed on the screen. This is how we can read the entire contents of a file with the help of read method. Appending data to a file. Appending data to a file means writing new data to the end of the data that already exists in the file. You have to write file handle is equal to open filename.txt append mode. In Python, you can use the a mode to open a file in the append mode, which means the following. If the file already exists, it will not be erased. If the file does not exist, it will be created. When data is written to the file, it will be written at the end of the file's current contents. Let's create a Python program to append data in an existing file. First, you have to create one file handle variable, and then you can call open function. Inside the open function, you have to pass two arguments. One is the name of the file, and another is the file mode. I need one variable to store the user's response. Then I will make this program more interactive. While loop name equal to input, enter name, then you can write the string inside the file handle dot write name. So I am concatenating the new line character so that inside the file cursor moves to the next line or a new line character should return inside the file. And then I ask the user, do you want to add more data? Ans equal to input, type y for yes. After the termination of this while loop, you can print one message on the screen. Data saved successfully. Finally, you can close the file by calling close method filehandle.close. Now let's run this program. So it is waiting to get the user's response. So I am typing Mehul Bhagat. Do you want to add more data? Yes. Enter name Vishal Maneshwar. Do you want to add more data? Yes. Enter name Prince Gate. Do you want to add more data? No. Data saved successfully. Now you can check by opening the file whether the data is written inside the file or not. Let's open the file. File name is participants.txt. So you can see 3 more data has been written in the file. So with the help of append mode, you can open the file to add data to an existing file.